in this climate, I think a lot of people are saying things. Everyone's on edge. And first of all, I'm not edge shaming because that's just the time we live in right now. It's everyone is on edge for whatever reason. Sometimes when you see people marching down the street, you kind of look like, do we have Nazis now? Because it's a different time for us. And so I think that sometimes people might react. So this is a lesson that I have to learn, because I am very much the person that, once you pass 25, I shouldn't have to walk you down certain roads. You should know how to get there. So I think we have to learn how to give each other grace. I'm preaching to the choir right now, because again, sometimes that's a struggle for me. But I saw D.L. Hughley, and I know I just recommended him to you guys, but I saw him say that when Trevor Noah asked the question, I wonder if pushing towards integration in the Black community in America was the right thing to do.
That may be the stupidest thing I've ever. And first off, I've heard enough from South Africans this year. That's enough. I'm like, between Elon Musk and Trevor, I don't need to hear about race from two dudes from South Africa. I heard enough.
Jamil Hill said, she kind of sugarcoated a little bit more and said, the reason why we had to do that is because it wasn't separate and equal. We didn't have the same equalities when it comes to schooling, housing, investments in our cities, as far as like the paving of the roads, public spaces, things of that nature. We didn't have that. And I found that to be an interesting statement, because that's one of the things that I've been reporting on since I've been in Long Beach. We still don't have that, just so you know. But it was an interesting statement that she made. Now, if you've been following me long enough, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I thought if anybody goes back far enough, they're going to be like, Jackie Rae said the same thing I did, and I still mean that. I think that aside from slavery, organized religion and integration were the worst two things to happen to the Black community. We will explore organized religion on another day. But today we're going to focus on integration, because when integration happened, we had our own barbershops, beauty salons, grocery stores, banks, schools, everything. We had our own communities. Our dollars were circulating within our communities. And guess what we learned to do? Depend on and trust one another. So we didn't have this confusion as to who we were. We didn't have this confusion about how we needed to move. We could have a difference of opinions on certain things, but at the end of the day, we were a community. And so now we have phrases like, oh, we're not a monolith. First of all, I hate that phrase, because that implies that yes, we are all different. We all have different ideologies and thought processes, but if it negates the fact that we all have a shared experience if you are Black and living in America. That phrase completely negates that. I feel the same way about a rising tide lifts all boats. No, it does not. A rising tide is not going to lift a boat that has hundreds of years of holes and damage and neglect. It's just not going to do it. It's one of these things that we say to make excuses for not moving in a certain way. And right now, the Black community cannot make those excuses. I really don't care if you like me. I'm an acquired taste, and I know that, and that's fine. I don't like a lot of people. I got 4 close friends. So I have a ton of acquaintances, but as far as people that I'm going to be on the phone if something happens, like, where you at? Are you okay? This is the meeting spot. I got 4 people. By extension, there's more, but I'm talking about my close circle of friends. There is 4 people. You liking me is of no consequence to me, but I'm always going to fight for you if you are in my community. And that is the piece that we're missing, is the level of understanding that, that person gets over on my nerves because they do things this way and I think they should do things that way. But at the end of the day, that is a Black person that is trying to push for change. Let me support them. Full stop. Full stop. You don't have to break bread with that person. You don't have to go out to dinner. You don't have to have a drink. You don't have to go to their house. They don't have to go to yours. But at the end of the day, we are all in the same fight. And integration took that from us.